There are three basic types, Mr. Pizer: the wills, the won'ts, and the can'ts. The wills accomplish everything, the won'ts oppose everything, and the can'ts won't try anything.
Well, do us all a favor, Vincent, and try to be a can't, especially where that monster's concerned. We need you, not another corkscrew.
Hey! Look at that!
So they tried this and tried that, but irregularity kept coming back all the same.
Thanks for tuning into Ducky X. This is Jeff. Today we're going to be covering the top 5 beginner motorcycles of 2020. This is for beginners to the street, not necessarily on a motorcycle. You may have experience with a off-road dirt bike, but this is for someone who's brand new to riding with other large vehicles around you. This is not going to contain bikes that are smaller CCs. I believe the Grom is slightly underpowered, as well as the Z125 to be able to keep up on highway speeds. This is going to be bikes that you'd be able to take on a short trip if you'd like to as well. I'll also explain our rating system, and it's fairly concise. You take the MSRP of the bike, and you divide it by how many total eggs or points that each bike receives in each category, thus giving you a egg score or bang for your buck. To make it short, you would just want the lowest dollar value per egg or per point that you can possibly achieve. Oh, and one last thing. I think it's really important that instead of relying on braking power, which is very common in cars and trucks, I think it's very important that as a beginner you learn to use acceleration and power to get out of a situation rather than just slamming your brakes. This will be learned over time, but I believe practicing this and implementing it in as many situations as you can where it is appropriate would be a great skill to learn. With that said, let's not waste any time, guys. Let's go. Our number 5 bike on the list is a 2020 Suzuki SV650. And just because I'm so cool, here's a sample of the exhaust first. It comes in with an MSRP of $7,099. I do recommend you, as a new rider, upgrade to the ABS version, which is $7,499. Although I've actually seen some dealers selling them for slightly less. This is a heavier bike. It's at 432 pounds. At least it's heavier for a beginner. The fuel capacity is 3.8 gallons. And it's got a 654cc V-twin engine. So a couple notes on this. It does come brand new with a 12-month warranty. And it also comes with a 30.9-inch seat height. It's a great starter bike, but it kind of has a little bit of a higher price. The SV650 has been in production since '99. It's got a solid history behind it. So let's look at the 4 different categories here. First, we have handling. The bike makes a solid amount of power, but the V-twin power delivery is not as smooth as an inline 4. And the weight and height also play a factor. This bike is heavy as far as the beginner bikes go, and my Hyper is 399 pounds for relation. The handling on this would land right at 6 out of 10 eggs. So, not too great. Let's talk about speed and power delivery. This bike makes 75 horsepower, and keep in mind that V-twin's power delivery will sneak up on you a little bit. 75 horsepower is perfect for a beginner. It's not too much, not too little. A common theme that you'll see with a lot of these entry bikes. So, in the speed and power category, don't expect too much excitement on this video. You're just looking for a nice round power curve, and again, with that V-twin, it might sneak up on you, so 7 out of 10 eggs. Looks, okay. This is a clean looking bike. Nothing too far out of the ordinary with the naked bike feel. The trellis frame and the straightforward headlight front fairing. Not too much wind protection here, but that's okay. This has a fairly classic look, but it's not really my cup of tea. I give it 6 out of 10 eggs. Next up, value retention. So when this video is being made, there's over 800 for sale in the US on CycleTrader. The average dealer's selling 2020s for around $7,000 with ABS. A 2018, so about 2 years old, is listed for $4,950 with ABS. This plays out to the bike losing around $1,000 of value per year for the first 2 to 3 years. After that, it looks like it plateaus as usual after that first bit of depreciation, and you can buy a nice used model that's only a few years old for around $4,000. This is on par with most bikes, losing about 10% of its value per year for the first 3 years, and then plateauing after that. There hasn't been a huge new release, and Suzuki hasn't changed a ton of stuff, so you should be safe grabbing a 3-year-old bike as long as it's in good condition. I know I said this is for 2020, but I also want you to get a good deal. So for value retention, I give it 7 out of 10 eggs. Not too bad. So let's take a look at the egg factor. So this is based off a brand new bike with an MSRP of $7,500, so some easy math, and you've got $288 per egg. If you love Suzuki, go with the bike. Pick up a used one. Next up, we have the 2020 Yamaha MT-03. As always, exhaust first, facts later. Now, this is one of my favorite bikes. It comes in at $45.99 for the MSRP, although, again, I do see some dealers selling them for slightly less. It's got 373 pound weight, that's perfect, 3.7 gallons of fuel, and it's got a 321cc engine. Just look how clean this bike looks, especially when contrasted with its bigger, older brothers. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. This bike is essentially the meanest looking 300 out there. Yamaha took the YZF R3 and stripped it down to its naked, beautiful self.
There's no shark in the bathtub.
Added aggressive features, and spit out a sweet little bike. It lacks the cross-plane drive shaft feature of the larger MT engines, but retains the style and aggression. I'll throw that up right here so you can see that. I mean, look at that face. So just a few more notes before we go into the actual details of this one. It's got a triple headlight orientation, comes standard with ABS. It's got a 30.9-inch seat height, which isn't too high, just 0.2 shorter than the last. And of course, the 1-year warranty with a brand new bike. Oh, just as a side note, Yamaha nicknamed this thing Dark Lightning. How sweet is that? So handling. A lot of this will be speculation because the bike has not been released quite yet. However, we can base a lot of this off the other MT designs that have proven to be excellent when it comes to handling. And just take into account that they are creating a new bike that weighs about 50 pounds less than the MT-09. However tempting it is, don't just hop on an MT-09. Start off with this guy. Due to its design, it has the ability to be flicked into corners and reversed into the next. I give it an 8 out of 10. Oh, did I mention this baby has an inverted fork orientation? If you aren't familiar with the pros and cons of inverted fork orientation, click the link that pops up here to learn more about them. Okay, speed and power delivery. Coming in at 45 horsepower, the MT-03 offers smooth power delivery across the chart, which is just what we're looking for. This is excellent for beginner riders. Expect no surprises sneaking up on you. 8 out of 10. Looks. What do you want me to say? I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but honestly, I think this is a mean-looking bike, even for a 300. Great job on the styling, Yamaha. Keep it up. It's cool to see a beginner bike that doesn't necessarily look like a stripped-down version of its large, more advanced models, which is another common theme you may see with some of the bikes listed here. Maybe 2020 is the year we start seeing more aggressive-looking beginner bikes. Hey, 9 out of 10. Alright, we're on to price and value retention. Okay, so from my research, I think it actually may be best for you to go with a new bike on this one. Go ahead and grab it off the showroom floor. It does come with a 1-year warranty, and with the MSRP of $4,500, I mean, you can't beat that. Unless you can find one that's lightly used, go ahead and grab it, but I mean, it would have to be a steal of a deal. Moving on to the egg factor. With an MSRP of $45.99, some quick math leads us to $139 per egg. This is a super deal. If you love the styling and you're a fan of Yamaha, grab it. Oh, one more thing. Yamaha actually nixed the cross-plane crankshaft for the flat-plane crankshaft on this one. And if you want to know a little bit more about that, just click here. I haven't been able to find a truly in-depth review on this one, so we may have to wait just a little bit, but it'll come. Okay, bike number 3. This is the 2020 KTM 390 Duke. It rolls in with a... no, hold on. You almost thought I forgot about the exhaust, didn't you? Okay. Comes in with 411 pound weight, fuel capacity of 2.9 gallons, a displacement of 313 cc's, and it's a single cylinder. So with KTM making a very accessible street bike, this is a great gateway bike for the class. If you're wanting a bike that allows you to experience the beauty of riding, but something that won't push you over your comfort limit while you learn the ropes, then this is the bike for you. It's got a full color display, lightweight wheels, drive-by-wire, and standard with ABS. Let's go over some specs. Handling. Weighing in at 411 pounds, you receive a more upright, higher riding position, which helps deliver a more comfortable, authoritative ride. For suspension, there's a monoshock in the rear, and in the front, you also get an inverted fork orientation. And you'd know what that was if you clicked the video I mentioned earlier. Or you may already know. So with that inverted fork, you also get the look and feel of a more well-built premium bike. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10 for handling. On the speed and power delivery, with the single-cylinder engine platform, the 390 is able to perform excellent acceleration with 44 horsepower, yet is tame enough to deliver for everyday use. Oh, did I mention this baby comes stock with a slipper clutch? Yeah. 8 out of 10. Looks. The fact that you can jump on a brand new KTM for under $5,000 is a beautiful thing. The styling screams motard to me, but maybe that's just because I'm the Ducky. Maybe it's because of the exposed frame, the naked bike feel, or that sweet hiney. But the exposed trellis frame harkens towards a more naked bike feel. It reminds me of the new 950 Hyper Motard. What do you guys think? 8 out of 10. Price and value retention. The value retention on these is so good that I couldn't find a used 2019 for under the MSRP of 2020. Talk about value retention. I mean, easy 9 out of 10. I don't want to say 10, but 9 out of 10. Okay, so onto the bang for your buck factor. Based on the MSRP of $48.45, you get $142.50. That's awesome. If you want an in-depth review of this bike, click here. Bike number 2, the 2020 Kawasaki Ninja 400. I doubled up on that exhaust clip for you just because I love you. Okay. So it comes in with an MSRP of $49.99. The weight is 362 pounds, which is great. Fuel capacity is 3.7 gallons. That's awesome as well. You can go a pretty far distance. Displacement, 399 cc's. Engine, parallel twin. So at first glance, this display right here is a little bit overwhelming for a beginner, but is fairly straightforward once you spend some time with it. It has the classic styling of a sports bike, comes stock with a slipper clutch, has ABS options, and it was introduced in 2018. Kawasaki upgraded the 300 to a 400 with improved engine, frame, suspension, and other parts. It's 17 pounds lighter than the Ninja 300, but with a bigger engine. All LED lighting. It also has improved standover capability. Means you can be flat-footed on the ground, standing over the bike, and have some space between the seat. They did this by giving it a 30mm lower seat height than the Ninja 300. I say improvements all around. Let's keep going. Oh, did I mention it also has improved corner stability due to stiffer 5-spoke wheels and a larger 44mm fork? Not that you're really going to feel this so much, but it's nice to know it's there. So let's talk about handling. With a more low-profile seat, you can easily flat-foot this bike no matter your height. The bike is super light and super easy to control. Solid braking and has a cockpit-style feel to it, and definitely a forward-leaning feel. This is getting an 8 out of 10. Speed and power delivery. This bike is able to deliver a solid and smooth power delivery with no peak point of power, just a smooth curve. Just what you want for a beginner bike. 9 out of 10. Looks. You can't deny that this bike embodies the sport bike crotch rocket feel. Classic styling all around. It does look slightly toned down compared to its H2 cousin, but still a super clean looking bike. 8 out of 10. Price and value retention. Buy new. These retail for $5,300 brand new with the ABS upgrade. To me, it's worth the extra grand to know everything about the bike, including its history. 9 out of 10. So, egg factor, based off the $5,300 MSRP, it comes in at $155.88. Steal of a deal. If you want an in-depth review, click this link. That leads us to bike number 1. Okay, I know my name is Ducky X. I get it. That doesn't mean Yamaha can't make a great bike. They took the number 1 spot on this video with the 2020 Yamaha YZF R3. With an MSRP of $49.99, a weight of 368 pounds, 3.7 gallon fuel capacity, 321cc engine, and with that engine being a parallel twin, makes for a great bike. Here's your exhaust clip. Just a quick side note, you will need to shell out an additional $300 for the ABS version, but it's absolutely worth the $300. The 2020 was released in November 2019. It has that inverted fork orientation that we were talking about, a low seat height of 30.7 inches, easily flat-footable, standard 1-year warranty, and a full digital display. It's not full color, but it's super easy to navigate. Let's talk about the handling. The R-Series is well known for their excellent handling and ability to carve corners whenever you'd like. The R3 is no exception, and will deliver for a beginner or an experienced rider. A low seat height also contributes to the flickability of this bike, making it quick and easy to reverse your corners. This lands it with a 9 out of 10. Speed and power delivery. Smooth. Need I say more? Again, this is a commonality between these bikes, and the reason I picked them, they won't jump out and scare you. Again, 9 out of 10. Looks. The classic styling of this bike is absolutely wonderful. Yamaha has created a bike that looks like its bigger, meaner siblings, but toned down the irrational speed and acceleration from the other bikes so you don't die. Classic all the way around. 9 out of 10 Yamaha. Price and value retention. Okay, this one could go either way. If you want to save $2K off the $5,300 price, go for it and grab a used one. I was able to find a 2019 as cheap as $3,900, if you don't mind grabbing last year's model. If you want to be sure of your purchase and know everything about the bike, just grab a new one. Yes, I know you'll be out the additional $2K, but is it worth it to you? Maybe. Value retention? 9 out of 10. Okay, this brings us down to our egg score. Based off the $5,300 MSRP, that brings us to 147.22.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, never getting up.
You're getting so much bang for your buck here, it's infuriating. Just go with the R3, in my opinion. But hey, you're just getting into this, go have fun, test ride a couple bikes, be careful. If you want an in-depth review of this bike, click this link. Keep in mind something that I've learned while I've been riding. It doesn't really matter the bike that you're on. As long as you can handle it, as a beginner, the most important thing is just learning the rules of the road. Learning what it feels like to ride next to a semi on the highway. Literally, no one cares what you look like except for you. So ride safe, ride smart, and also make wise investments. And that's it, guys. Be safe. Follow this link to Dan the Fireman's channel to watch pro tips on basic riding skills that you can start developing now, even if you don't have a bike. If you approach riding motorcycles as the art form and skill that it truly is, and you have a general respect for not only yourself, but the bike and the other people around you when you're riding, you'll have a good and safe time. Thank you guys for watching, and if you'd like to see more of these videos, please click like and subscribe. What bikes do you think I missed? What should have been on this list? If you'd like to become a patron, here's a link to my Patreon, where you can get shoutouts, cool merch, and personalized videos. This is my first video of the series. Please expect more gear reviews, bike reviews, and some purchase videos where I take you along while I make some purchases. If that's also something you're interested in, drop a comment, let me know. Thanks so much. Don't do quack.